and welcome to 360 Gamercast, episode 178 for Tuesday, the 12th of September 2023. I'm your host, Mark Webb, gamertag Pearson RD, Steam RD, Webby360G, and joining me today is...
It's still too hot, isn't it, folks?
Yeah. But summer is being dragged back to hell where it comes from. It's Sensei Switch.
It has cooled down a little bit, but that weekend, the weekend just gone, oh my god, I thought I was going to melt and die.
It wasn't as bad as obviously last year, but it was for the length of time it went on. It was even the people I know who like the heat were like, no, it can fuck right off now. I've had enough. Like,
yeah.
I mean, we are British and we moan about buses and the weather, but I just like it to be in the set time of the year it's supposed to be in. You know, I like my summers to be hot, my winters to be cold, and spring and autumn somewhere in the middle. And it's just annoying. Plus, we just can't get out of it, can we? I mean, I sat in my car for like 15 minutes this morning before work, like with the air conditioning blasting, and then when I got out of the car, like all my glasses just steamed up. Like, oh, nice.
Everyone's going to wonder what to do with all these pockets and things that people are going to find on their clothing that they wear soon. It's like, oh, I've got pockets to put stuff into. This is great.
I'm so confused.
You're talking about coats and stuff.
Coats, hoodies, sweaters, anything that can have pockets in it. In the summertime, you're wearing virtually fuck all.
Unless you're walking around London, and some people are like wearing full winter dress on the underground. You're like, dude, you're wearing like fluffy socks, jeans, trousers, like 2 coats. How are you not melting?
Some people
are just born different. There's a bloke at our work who's like, even in the heat of summer, he'll have like, he used to wear like a Benny hat and have like a fleece on and stuff in the height of summer while we're all melting.
Wow. That guy's mental. Anyway, should we talk about video games? Excuse me.
Yeah, after you've stopped dying.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've only played 3 games this week. I thought I'd only played 2 when I spoke to you earlier, but I forgot about one that I've been playing. So I'm going to talk about that one first and then get on to everything else, which won't take long after you guys. So I resubscribed to a monthly subscription game, and no, it's not Final Fantasy 14. Before you even think about it, I resubscribed just for 1 month because I had the itch for racing, and I don't have PlayStation Plus anymore, and I refuse to pay for it now. They put the prices up because they're a bunch of arseholes. So I resubscribed for 1 month of iRacing. Yes, and it's just because I got my steering wheel and I hadn't used it for a little while, and I just needed something to scratch that itch. And it used to be Gran Turismo 7, which is still a great game by the way, but without PlayStation Plus, the game's pretty much useless. You can't really do anything on it. So I was like, right, well, I'm not paying £70 for a year of PS Plus, so I spent $15 for a month of iRacing, which I don't know if I mentioned it to you before. You get a selection of cars and tracks that you can use online anyway. And the reason why I did the resubscription, 1 was to reuse my wheel, but 2, it's that organised racing. It's just something really good about it. You don't get anywhere else, well, until Forza comes out and gets it in there. So basically, it'll give you a track. So basically, I just do the MX5 races, but every week they change the track for the races. So basically, there's a race every half an hour, okay, and it's, you know, it starts at like 4:35 or whatever. So basically, you know, you can practice as long as you like, and then you do your qualifying, then you do your race. And this week's track, I just seem to I don't know, just seem to click. So yesterday I got on and I put about 3 hours in, and I had 3 races. And the first 2 races, I got taken out on the first lap, so I was really upset. I was like, "Fuck's sake," because I was qualifying really well. Well, I was qualifying in fourth place every time for some reason. It seemed to be in fourth, which I was really pleased with because usually in iRacing I'm normally like eighth or ninth at least. You know what I mean? So I was like, "Oh, this is good," And then on the last race, I managed to come second, which for me, that's the best result I've ever had. So I was well chuffed. I've never ever won a race on iRacing, but that was the closest I've got, and I wasn't actually that far behind first place either. So I'm definitely getting better, and that perseverance must have paid off because it was like you're playing it properly. You're doing your practice, and then you're doing your qualifying, and I just seemed to like get in the zone and actually had a clean race for the last one. So I was very, very pleased with that. So it definitely scratched that itch. Um, I still think it's a super expensive game if you want to get proper into it, buying cars and tracks and stuff, which I haven't done. I just, because I've earned, I'm a license. I've earned the licenses now to do like the better cars and stuff, but I just refuse to pay for them. So I'm just happy just doing the Mazda races in the beginner, because it's just the beginner people, just honing my skills. So, yeah, man, I had a really good time on that over the weekend, just playing it and just scratching that itch because there was no F1 on this weekend, so that was kind of my racing. So yeah, iRacing, baby. I am the man. And the last thing I just wanted to mention on that is I'm blaming Frosty for this little bit because he bought a new steering wheel this last week. It's by a brand called Moser. They're new into the wheel realm. So basically, the best racing wheels or the most popular brand's been Fanatec for quite a few years now. They're kind of the premium wheels. They command very high prices, but they're known to be the best brand out there. And this new company's come in about a year or two ago, and they're getting quite good reviews now. And and they're doing this bundle was quite reasonably priced. It's 400 quid for the wheel and the pedals, and it's not, and it's a direct drive. So like the wheel I've got is it has gears and stuff in it, whereas the direct drive ones are a lot better quality. There's no noise. It's more powerful and stuff. So he was talking about that, and I was like, oh, I want to do some racing again. So yeah, all good, baby. That's iRacing. Good times.
I was going to say, you said just before, obviously, about the price increase for PS Plus.
Yes.
I half expect them to drop the price down to the regular value during Black Friday month.
You reckon?
Because that's whenever I always ring you during that time of year. So yeah. I reckon they probably put the price up so they can knock it back down to the old price at Black Friday, and everyone's like, yay, and buys it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
That's a theory, anyway.
Yeah. So,
if
I mean...
they do, I'll probably redo it, but if not, then I might not.
I just can't believe how much they put the prices up, because like the basic PS Plus is 70 quid now. 60 quid, sorry. So it's gone up by a tenner.
Haven't they stopped giving you the free games a month as well? I know Xbox are either done or doing the same.
No, on Essential you still get the monthly games. It says here, I'm just looking at the website.
Yeah, but they put it down from like 4 to 2, didn't they?
Oh, I don't know, mate.
Yeah, I think Xbox are doing or done the same. I think they're getting rid of Xbox Live or Xbox Gold altogether and calling it, what is that, Xbox Core?
Yeah, I just don't understand. I don't understand why these companies don't just leave things alone. Now,
Because they think if they just
read
mess people about,
yeah,
then they'll just give them more money and buy the most expensive one.
I mean, I agree, and it's not just me bashing on PlayStation. Xbox do it too, but I'm just going to talk about PlayStation
Xbox
very quickly.
Will put
then,
theirs up a tenner.
Yeah.
So in a couple of months, because that happened.
Yeah.
Because didn't PlayStation put it up from like 40 to 50, and everyone sort of went up in arms about it, and then about 2 months later, Xbox did the same thing. I think some of their games as well are 70. Like when I think PlayStation were one of the first to do it, and then Xbox did it. I think Nintendo, didn't they charge 70 for Zelda? So they all just whoever does it first get a bit of backlash, and then they all just do it.
Yeah, so PlayStation Plus, for people that don't know, right? So the Essential's gone up a tenner a year, so it's 60 quid, right? Extra, which is the middle one, is now £100, which is what I paid for the premium one a year ago, or just over a year ago, because mine's run out. And the premium one is now 120, and it was £100. So yeah, so premium and extra have gone up £20 a year each, and Essential's gone up a tenner a year. Which I think is a bit shitty, because you need Essential to play online. So so I think that's a bit shitty. There's no kind of just online. I just want an option just to game online with my mates, and
Yeah, I don't want your freebies. I don't want your plus games or anything. That's what I'd go for. I'd be like, look, I'll give you 20-30 quid a year just for the online, considering you're holding it hostage.
Isn't like Fortnite and Warzone? You don't need PS Plus for that, though, do you?
No, free-to-play games don't. No.
Yeah.
No, like Final Fantasy 14, you don't as well.
And 14, you won't, because you're already paying a subscription for that.
Yeah, but I still think it's a lot of money. I think just to play online. Now, Xbox, on the other hand, I don't think Game Pass Premium is that badly priced for what you get. However, I wish they didn't change things from the Xbox 360 era, because I really miss, I don't know about you guys, I really miss Xbox Live Arcade. Like, even today, I really miss it. I miss Xbox Live Arcade. And do you remember that they did a summer of arcade every year where they put all the new...
This is where all the trials and stuff came from, wasn't it? And whatnot.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think sometimes these companies go a little bit backwards, but I think there is a lot of greed, especially with PlayStation, with their pricing models, but Xbox can be just as guilty as well.
I'll say just what they're doing, because they don't really care about, the adults, people like us, because we'll either pay for it or we won't, or just whatever. They're doing it for like the kids that are screaming at mum and dad, "Oh, I need PlayStation Plus, that's 70 quid, that's 70 quid." The same as if your kids
I can't pay with Jimmy if I don't have...
if your boy said to you, "Give me 70 quid for the PlayStation," you'd be like, sod off. Oh, all right, we'll pay £13 a month for this. And you'd be like, all right, 13 is less than 70. But when you work that out over the course of a year, you see what I mean? So that's what they're doing. That's just how a lot of people run, like on a month-to-month thing.
Yeah, well, I think it's quite
get rid of it.
So this is right. So this is a difference, right? So if you get PlayStation Premium, it's a £120 if you buy it for the year. If you pay it monthly, it's £161.88.
Yeah, an extra 40 odd quid a year.
Yeah.
So that's why. That's like, I think you pay less if you paid your bloody car tax over the year.
I know, it's just a way of they just take the piss. So this is why, because I'm trying to be a little bit more
frugal.
Yes, shall we say? And I mean, my little boy wasn't pleased because he went on the PS5 last week and he was like, "Oh, Daddy, I can't play all these games." I was like, "Well, it's because I don't have PlayStation Plus anymore." So, but I'm just finding, and it's nothing against PlayStation. It's just my time, how I manage my gaming time. I'm mainly on my PC upstairs or my Steam Deck or my Xbox. I just don't have the time for the Switch or the PlayStation. So why am I going to pay a yearly fee for something I don't really use? Because last year, me and Peebs game shared on PlayStation, so we paid £50 each for the premium on PS Plus because you can share that between, when you do your game sharing. And you know what? I played one game on PlayStation Plus that whole year. That was it. I mean, it's just I played a lot online of Gran Turismo, but the actual games that were on the service, I played one. So in my mind, that wasn't worth it to me.
So, whereas the Xbox, because they release all the first party and Bethesda stuff, you will probably play 5 or 6 that you would have bought anyway. And obviously, with PlayStation, they just make like if Final Fantasy 16 would have been on it, then you could have played that. But obviously, that wasn't never gonna come on there, was it?
Yeah. Yeah, so and that's just how I game, and I know other people have their PlayStation as their main console, and that's fair enough. Play on whatever makes you happy, right? But it's just for me, I can't justify paying Xbox Live, PlayStation Plus, Nintendo Online, all this stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm at a point now where I pay for Xbox Live Premium for the Game Pass, but I buy the codes from abroad, shall we say, right? So I get like a 3 years for a cheap price, right?
I mean, when you went on holiday to Argentina, right?
Yeah, it was lovely. That was lovely that holiday. And and for TV subscriptions, I don't have any that I pay for. I've got Disney Plus, but I've got 6 months free on my O2 contract. That's the only reason why I've got Disney, and that is literally it. I don't have any other streaming services because I just think, you end up with loads of streaming services, loads of paying monthly for these different gaming services, and it adds up to a fuck ton of money, man.
Yeah, when you sometimes look back and just see, and to be honest about it, maybe if you've got, like I said, PlayStation, whatever online, Xbox online, Nintendo Switch online, so Sky TV with the movies, Netflix, Disney Plus, all this stuff.
Yeah.
How the hell have you got time to actually get your money's worth?
I know. 100% agree.
You can't, can you? I mean, you're probably the same as me. You probably could have something like a Netflix and realise like you haven't touched it for 3 months.
Well, that's a problem because we've had Netflix up until about 2 or 3 months ago because we were sharing it with my mate, and then obviously we couldn't share anymore because Netflix are being knobbers.
Yeah.
And I was saying to the missus, I said, when was the last time we actually watched anything on Netflix? And it had literally been about 4 weeks since we'd even turned it on. So at that point, we were both like, well, what's the point? So. But if I used it.
Go for a walk and have a conversation instead.
But if I used it, I'd pay for it. But it's just. I just don't see the point when you're not using something much. Why are you going to pay that amount of money for it? So if I was using my PlayStation, I'd happily pay for PS Plus, but it's just I physically don't have time now. I've found, especially with my new job that I've had for the last 5 months or so, I literally, I work 9 to 5 or 6 some days, and I'm like sorting the kids out, and by the time that they get to sleep, I probably have from like 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. and that's it. So I'm either gaming or watching something with the missus or something like that. Whereas I found when I was working shift work, I had loads more gaming time because I'd game in the day. Well, when the missus worked, I'd game all day when she was at work, and we didn't have the kids and that, But now I find it quite difficult just to get a decent amount of gaming time in. And the weekends are busy with the kids and stuff, and it's difficult. So it's just literally just time. And I think a lot of people are in the same boat, So now I can finally understand when people used to say to me, how do you find the time to game? You know, I'm working all day and I've got my kids and blah, blah, blah. Now I know.
So you finally become a grown-up, Webby.
Yeah, I don't like this adulting, mate.
It only took, 39 years?
Don't remind me.
How old are you next year, Webby?
I'm not saying anything else. I'm deleting my Facebook account so no one knows when my birthday is, because that's the modern world. No one knows when it's your birthday if you don't have Facebook. Sad, isn't it?
I can still remember certain people's birthdays.
I still remember my 30th, and Dan snagged a picture off Facebook and he puts it in our WhatsApp group every year, wearing my birthday badge and my silly hat.
Wow, almost a decade ago.
Don't remind me.
I'm being horrible. I'm only a year behind you.
I will never be 40. Might as well be dead. Oh dear. Anyway, where were we, Nick? We're down to you now, aren't we?
Video games, yep.
Yes.
Cat game, Stray.
To listen to the rest of this week's awesome episode, you need to subscribe to the Patreon. So head on over to patreon.com/360gamercast. There you can sign up from as little as £5 a month and you get an episode every single week, including this week's awesome episode, which is over an hour and a half long. So again, to subscribe, head on over to patreon.com/360gamercast.